It's Goku's son, DBZ. Welcome back to my first album review in probably about, give or take, 2.5 years. Been quite a long time. I'm not going to be quite as thorough with this review as the last, given the last time was like 20 minutes. And I want to keep this review under 10 minutes. So with that said, try to play a little bit of metal music in the background. For the main point, because this is going to be a metal artist that I'm reviewing. And this is the album called Heaven Upside Down from Marilyn Manson. Thought I'd wear, since I'm reviewing an industrial metal artist, I'd wear an industrial metal band shirt, because I don't have any Marilyn Manson shirts. And first we'll be talking about a few of the tracks. I'll give my own personal opinion on the album. Came out just less than a week ago, just a few days ago. And the first song on the album is called Revelation number 12. Now, of course, this is supposed to be a little bit elements of course, the book of Revelation from the Bible. Taking some shots, obviously, given he's trying to get back into shock rock and stuff like he used to be. Though I appreciate some of his stuff he's done since he did start his independent label a couple albums back. And I will say, for the most part, with this album, I like it. For the most part, it's not as good as Pale Emperor, but it's a very solid album overall, honestly. Revelation number 12 is, for me personally, is probably one of my 5 favorite songs off this album so far. I've listened to this album now probably from front to back 4 times now. Every track at least. So a few tracks I've listened to more than others. But this is one of the 5 tracks for me personally that stands out. Now, of songs that didn't really stand out to me personally were tracks like track number 2, Tattooed in Reverse. I felt there really wasn't anything real special to it. I felt I didn't care much, I guess you could say, for the melody and things for the song. It just felt like a lot of same songs he's done before. Nothing really distinctive to the sound or style of the song. Now, some people may like it, but this is just my own personal opinion, keep in mind. Track number 3 is called We Know Where You Effin' Live. Now, this is one of the other 5 tracks that stands out to me personally. It definitely has more of a sound of Marilyn Manson from probably like the early 2000s, back when he was known better in the era of shock rock, when he was considered like the king of shock rock in the late 90s, early 2000s. This is a song that definitely harkens back to that era, I feel, for the most part. And I like the song, honestly. I can see why it's probably the most popular song, at least here on YouTube anyways, of the tracks so far. Most views. But it's definitely not, say, in my top 3. It is in my 5 top favorite songs. Revelation number 12, I probably put maybe 1 spot higher than this song. Next song is another one I'd probably put in my top 5 favorite songs on this album. It's called Say 10. And they try to sound like he's saying Satan, but he's saying the word say and 10. So, play on words. And that's one thing Marilyn Manson has always been good about, is play of words on some of his songs over the years. He's a very good lyric writer. Sadly, more people, honestly, I feel, don't give him the respect he deserves. I feel Marilyn Manson puts a lot of time and effort, honestly, into his overall songwriting. That's something he doesn't get enough credit on, I feel, a lot of times. But he honestly should. That's one of my fellow YouTube metal enjoyers here on YouTube cover Killer Nation have stated before. I agree with him on that. He definitely made a few good points on some of his past album reviews of Marilyn Manson's. But for me, I think overall this is a really good track. Honestly, next up is probably in my fourth of my top 5 favorite songs off this album. It's called Kill For Me. It's another song like We Know Where You Effing Live. You can definitely tell, like that song, it definitely harkens back to more the older style and controversial style of Marilyn Manson from more than about a decade and a half ago. It's hard to believe he's been in music now for around like 2.5 decades. It's kind of crazy to think about. Marilyn Manson's been around for 25 years in metal. That's kind of impressive, and this is his 10th studio album. So I have to say, thank you, Manson, honestly, for producing another solid rock metal album. And I definitely appreciate it. Saturn Tillin, or Saturnella, or something like that. Don't kill me for not knowing the pronouncement correctly. This is easily, though, my favorite song off the entire album. Easily my #1 favorite song. Really good melody, really good riff work, good lyric structure. Overall, just a really solid overall, honestly, song and track off this overall really well-structured metal album. So I definitely say, honestly, after this song, though, we have a song I'm 50-50 with. I kind of like. It's called Jesus Christ, but it shows like dollar signs. Then we have the song called Blood Honey, and I'm 50-50 kind of with this song. Heaven Upside Down isn't too bad of a song. Now the last track is another 50-50 for me personally, and that's called Threats of Romance. But for the overall album, it's honestly a really solid album for the most part. There's only really maybe 3 songs on the entire album that I'm 50-50 with. And for a full album of around like 12 tracks, that's not bad, honestly. Especially when there's at least, I can name about 5 or 6 songs off the album I already like. And that's not bad, saying about half the album already. There aren't too many artists you can honestly say that, especially just listening a few times through and already really enjoying at least half the album right there. And it definitely says something about Manson's awesome style, his music. I've always enjoyed. He gets to show how intelligent he is. That's the thing people don't give him enough credit for, is his high intelligence. He's probably one of the most intelligent people in metal music in general, and a very well-spoken person. But for the most part, with this album as a whole, Heaven Upside Down, on a scale of 1 to 10, which is how I rate most things, movies, video games, and albums, on a scale of 1 to 10, I give this album probably a 7.5 out of 10 to possibly an 8 out of 10. So it's really back and forth right now between a 7.5 to an 8 out of 10. Which is not bad by any means, in all honesty. It's a really good album, though I guess you could say it's a little downgrade for me personally, because Pale Emperor, the last album, is easily not only my favorite album from him within so many years, maybe my favorite album period from him, from Manson as a whole. But with that said, I'll get ready to cut up this video. Leave a comment, tell me if you'd like me to do more future album reviews, metal album reviews. And just so you know, yes, in the near future, I am planning on doing an album review actually for my personal favorite, Marilyn Manson and his album Pale Emperor. So stay tuned for that review in the near future. I'll see you next time. Same YouTube time, same YouTube channel.